What's up, Failbook? We're setting everything up right now. Getting everything ready to do the actual open of the show for the audio, which someday I will figure out how to post. Someday I'll learn that. I'll stop being a Luddite and learn how to do things. Instead of being old and stubborn. I can't help it. I've reached that age. I mean, when you fall asleep.
Get off my lawn!
I mean, I was yelling at clouds the other day, man. Yeah, you fall asleep on your shoulder, and you wake up with nothing but sharp pain. You start becoming a cranky old man. And like, although today I was able to do it, to operate without a salon pause, so that was that's a small win for me. All right, let's see here. Let me close that window. Welcome, Facebook viewers. Welcome, Twitch viewers. If we have anyone on the Twitch, we got a couple of the weird little things bouncing around the table right now.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Can you interact with them? Yeah.
Okay. It's waving. It's weird.
That's creepy.
Ugh, creepy. Let me just go to before we. Oh, I got 30 seconds to do this. Before I get to yell out my opening. Dun, 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 dun. See, that's the thing I feel like we're missing, and I wish I could do.
Theme song.
Theme song, man. What's the Twitch name? The Twitch is twitch.tv/Dre GP Podcast. Let's see. Hey, I'm on the air. Exclamation point. Share. Live from somewhere deep, deep inside Los Angeles. This is Dre's Geek Philosophy. We got me, your host, Dre Cervantes. We have excessively long executive producer, Sam Zia. Excessively long. You can ask Maria all about that. And we have judgmental nerd, Peter Malini. With me, as usual, we have the crew, the normal Dre's Geek Philosophy crew is here. We're on the air. We're a multi-platform program. We are on Facebook Live for those who want to watch it live. We are on twitch.tv for those who want to see everything that's going on. You can see our entire bodies. You can see my big belly. And we are also recording this for audio when someday, Dre, your humble host, your humble old man host.
Set it up this week.
Well, let's try to set it up this week if I don't get too busy or too old, so we can actually throw up. I mean, I've kind of decided on what I feel like I've landed on what the logo of the podcast should be. It's me rubbing my head. Because there's several times the frozen picture that shows you on Facebook Live, shows me on Facebook Live. It's just been that. It's been the bewildered. Yeah. I just rewatched myself just do it on my laptop. Pants. I love pants. I love wearing pants. Unlike most people who like to wear shorts. And if you do watch this on Twitch, you get to see. It's just Dre GP podcast. It's not Dre's GP. I don't know what's happening. We're fighting the little guys on the screen over here on Twitch.tv, so you can see how ridiculous we are. So today on the show, our main topic today. Well, this past weekend, I was fortunate enough to be able to attend WonderCon. That is a convention that's run by the same people who run the San Diego or the Whale's Vagina Comic Con. I love that joke. I have Ron Burgundy is the best. I was able to attend WonderCon thanks to the kindness of my friends at Street Pass, Orange County, Kiet Pham, Ryan Van Loo, and Adam Scher. They were kind enough to have me join them on their panel. Yeah. The panel was very interesting. We had it's amazing when you get a bunch of nerds or gaming nerds who are, I dare say, sometimes are more awkward or differently awkward than comic book nerds.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I feel like they're differently awkward. Well, you, Pete Malini, as the owner and proprietor of Nostalgic Books and Comics in San Gabriel, California, I'm sure you've run into the whole gamut of awkward nerdness.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it just comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. It's something you kind of just have to accept. And I'm going to remove myself from watching myself on tape delay over here. Wow, good God, it's there again. I'm going to just stop looking over there and looking over there and looking over. There's just, the multi-platform experience of Dre's Geek Philosophy. It can be a little bit jarring as Pete is shooing away. See, I mean, now I feel like I shouldn't have unleashed some of those.
You can react to it.
They react to motion. So we're going to be talking about convention. Well, I'm going to talk about my experience at WonderCon, but I'm going to be leaning on you, my friend, Mr. Pete Molini, because we're going to talk about con culture as well, the culture of cons, and I'm going to talk about how, again, I may have mentioned this on a previous episode, but I've broken up with conventions in the traditional sense. I attended this last one this past weekend because I was a part of the panel. I was classified as a professional, which, if you follow me on Instagram, you see I laughed quite a lot when I saw that my badge had my name and it said professional, and I laughed for 5 minutes. It's like, professional? Me? Woo! Yeah, me, professional. But so I'm going to put some other topics on the table because I, in my continuing quest to be more professional, I had the format for the show ready this morning, and I sent it as a file to excessively long executive producer Sam Zia and judgmental nerd Pete Molini so that they could be prepared and not just wondering what's going on 10 minutes before the show. Hey, Dre, what we're talking about? We're talking about things. Things are happening. We're going to talk about all the things.
Well, I mean, usually I find out when you post about it.
Well, yeah, you find out when I make the call to action.
Yeah.
Hey, tonight on the show we're talking about X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete and Sam, here's what we're doing. FYI, no, but this time, I as a more professional showrunner, I actually put it all together, and I realized I don't have access to it because it's on my phone. And hey, we're recording the show on my phone, but I do have it up here in my noggin. So the first topic I wanted to touch on is for those of you who didn't see. I watched Wrestlemania last night with all my buddies. We had a Wrestlemania party at the Dre Cafe, as I like to call my house, because I love to cook. I love to prepare for it. Look at this. Teamwork. Pete has the agenda that I sent him. You see?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It all came together.
Past Dre did something right. The Dre's Time Continuum worked for once. Holy shit. Oh my God, the Dre Time Continuum. But yeah, me and a whole bunch of people came to my house. We watched Wrestlemania. I did. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see. I did a video for the final hour. Well, I thought it was gonna be the final hour, but it went much longer than that because WrestleMania now because they have their own network, they are not limited to the time constraints of the past where they can only go for 3 hours or 4 hours when they extended it. No, they can go as long as they damn well please. And from the beginning of the show started technically at 2 with the pre-show because they think they're the Super Bowl now. So they went from 2 to like 9:45 last night. It was a lot. And I told everyone that's coming over, I'm like, come over at 4. I'm not watching the pre-show. I need time to clean the living room. I need time to get stuff ready. Go pick up the pizzas. Make the guacamole.
That's a lot of wrestling, man.
It is a lot. My back is hurting from at some point I just sat down. Finally got to sit down because usually some of the other pay-per-views I'm usually cooking. I'm moving around, but this time I actually got everything prepared. My friends were kind of. We had various forms of fried chicken brought over. There was more pizza brought by other people. We had all kinds of stuff. We had a whole spread going on. And I got to sit down, but oh, good God, by the 5th hour, my back was like, what are we doing?
Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? But it was great. It was great. We had a great time watching the show. Honestly, it's a lot better with a bunch of friends because you can just amuse each other as we make ridiculous comments. And my good buddy Juan Carlos Marquez, because we always do the kind of the at midnight where we give each other points when someone says something ridiculous or something clever. And so my friend Juan Carlos, he brought a giant, poster board and some markers, and we kept track of points this year.
Nice.
So if you watch the video that is on Facebook.com/DreGP Podcast, you can see the tail end of us watching Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, us watching the ladies the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which during that match I discovered if I tried to put the camera towards my TV, Facebook would know that we're watching something on pay-per-view and it was not something we're supposed to broadcast. It immediately stopped me.
Wow.
So there might be a gap in the middle of that video I posted last night because it immediately said, you are trying to broadcast something or something you do not have the right to broadcast to. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, no, because some people will go, like, if you want to watch...
Like UFC or...
No, if you want to watch WrestleMania or send it to your friends, if
try.
you put it on Facebook Live, they're going to know
They're going to intercept. Dude, It was literally no more than like 3 seconds. Like I flipped it to show the entrances of the women because there were some cool entrances going on. And I flipped the camera. I pressed the button on my phone to flip that thing. And all of a sudden it was like, nope, you cannot do that. And I was like, what the hell? I was like... And I flipped it back, and I'm like, well, everyone, I'm afraid I cannot show you anything WrestleMania, but you can see my face watching WrestleMania.
That's crazy. Like, so
the technology is so advanced now, man. I feel old.
Yeah.
It's like it knew.
How does
It
know?
knew. How does it know? How did it know it was WrestleMania? I don't understand. But overall, it was kind of a fun show. I mean, like I said, it's a discussion I was having with my other friend the other day is, WrestleMania is not for I consider myself a hardcore wrestling fan. I care a little too much. I look up everything on the internet. When you showed up to my house so we could carpool over, I was watching the first hour of tonight's Raw because tonight is like the most exciting episode of Raw because you have all the fans from around the world in town, and usually if they buy tickets for WrestleMania, they can buy tickets for the Monday Night Raw after, and they're the most loud, vocal, insane crowd. Like, they called Roman Reigns an asshole for 5 minutes. Like, you could audibly hear it on the broadcast. Like, fuck you, Reigns! Fuck you, Reigns!
Wow.
You're an asshole! You're in! And then what's great, he stood out there for 10 minutes and just took it. Like, they went through, like, I think he was trying to wear them out, but I think he drastically underestimated the power of drunk wrestling fans. Because they went for like 10 minutes, like, it was a solid 10 minutes of them going through different chants, like, delete, 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 and just all kinds of crazy stuff. I sat there, like, this is happening. And Roman Reigns just stands there, waits, and he starts acting like, I got you in the palm of my hand. He like points to the palm of his hand, and he goes, this is my yard now, and drops the mic. And then that was the first 10 minutes of the show tonight. Just the crowd going full soccer crowd on him. It's the craziest show. I can't wait to get home afterwards and watch the rest of it and see what else happens in wrestling. But yeah, last night, fun show. Undertaker is retired. Spoiler alert. For anyone who, the Undertaker was retired by Roman Reigns last night.
That's what I heard.
Yes. At the very end, he was beaten, and it was sad. I want to say, like, me and all my friends who were watching it, we did not enjoy that match. It was the final match of the night. They brought out good old JR was brought out to call Undertaker's last match. JR, who was, fired. Well, he was retired, i.e., he was fired. He was fired a few years ago for allowing Ric Flair to step on a stage drunk and say whatever he wanted. And I guess they'd been working it out because I guess WWE probably knew this was Undertaker's last match. Hey, JR, we'd like you to come in and call Undertaker's final match. And he came in and he did all the greatest hits. By God, Soup Bone. He hit all the JR-isms.
I would say that also it wasn't just a tribute to him and all that he's done in all the matches that he's called of the Undertakers. It also probably had a lot to do with him losing his wife recently.
No, he said that they had been talking about it for weeks.
Really?
No.
Oh wow! So if that's the case, then
no, this was already in the works for weeks.
I'm sure this had to be therapeutic for him.
It literally was.
I'm sure it did. That's something that I'm definitely. I didn't get to catch the show, so I'm going to go onto the WWE Network. Thank you, Andre.
You're welcome.
And going to go and take a look at that specifically because I love JR.
Yeah, JR, he was good during the match, but then the final part, so Roman Reigns beats, I was explaining to my friend at my other job this morning, because he's a big Undertaker fan, and I explained, oh, dude, he lost, he's retired. Like, oh, I can't watch it. I'm like, yeah, it was a sad watch, because, like, normally Undertaker, he does that thing where he sits up, he does the sit-up, like, oh. Yeah. He did it, and then, like, halfway up, he fell over. Oh. And it's like, whoa, Father Time, man. Yeah. Father Time came and got Kobe last year. Father Time came and got Undertaker this year, man. It's cold-blooded, man.
It's an end of an era.
It is literally, and so like after the match, after Roman wins, and then do the big pyro, and then the crowd, it's great. Because WWE has been trying to actively fight against the fact that people don't like Roman, or the smart fans don't like Roman. The casual fans love him. It's the weird dichotomy that also John Cena has, and. They're trying to kill the mics because everyone's booing the daylights of Roman. They do the giant pyro, and then all the lights go out. The lights come back on. Undertaker's just standing in the ring. He already has his coat and his hat back on, and he slowly takes off his gloves, sets in the middle of the ring, takes off his coat, folds it up, puts it in the middle of the ring, takes off the hat, sets it down, and without saying a word, he goes over. His wife is sitting on the front row, right behind JR. Goes over to his wife, kisses her, goes back to the ramp. Bunch of smoke, goes into the ramp.
Wow.
End of an era. That was like the payoff. I mean, we sat through probably one of the worst Undertaker matches in history, but the payoff was getting to see him do that. That was like the send off. And one of my guests, Lamar, a former guest of the podcast, he was like, "They should have did a bigger send off." I'm like, oh man, this is old school. This is before you were born, Mr. Lamar Harris. when an old wrestler goes, you go out like a cowboy. Yeah. You go out like John Wayne.
Well, the original wrestlers, whenever they were retired, their last match, they would leave their boots in the ring.
Leave the boots in the ring, and you lose. Yeah. You lose your last match.
Yeah, if you lose your last match, you leave your boots. And He could have left his boots, but he didn't.
No, he left his hat. He left his gloves. He's done. Dude. He's beyond done.
But I'm sure he's going to be making appearances just to mess with people at some point.
Nah, dude. He's old school, dude. He's
not
done.
Gonna pull a Ric Flair?
No. This is
20 comebacks.
No, dude. He ain't Terry Funk. He ain't Ric Flair. He ain't gonna do this. Yeah. I mean, it was funny when you mentioned that, because Shawn Michaels, they asked him to come out of retirement to wrestle AJ Styles, and he declined because he wanted to stay retired. He didn't want to be that guy who he didn't want to be like Terry Funk.
Yeah.
You go out on your back, man.
I heard that Shane O'Mac match with him
it was really good because normally, Shane McMahon likes to, throw himself around and.
That guy's nuts.
But they had an actual wrestling match.
Well, He's not bad.
For a person who wrestles once or twice a year, he was pretty darn okay.
Yeah.
He pulled out a shooting star press for those, he jumped up in the air and did a backwards flip and landed on his face. Lots of people don't try this because if you land wrong, you break your neck.
Just ask what's his
or
face?
Brock Lesnar, who did it at a WrestleMania and landed on his neck. And thankfully, because he didn't skip neck day at the gym, he's still alive. People always talk about skipping leg day. That guy never skips neck day.
Yeah.
We could have saw a real funeral at that one. If it
No
wasn't such
kidding.
A thick-necked mother.
My gosh. But enough about wrestling. I want to talk about something else that was announced last week. I want to talk about a video game that's near and dear to my heart, Destiny. I've been playing that game a lot. Originally, we were going to do like a Destiny-based show, but I said, you know what? I don't feel like I have enough content. We don't have enough content that would be compelling enough.
It's a fun thing, but
it's a fun game.
That a lot of people are.
A lot of my friends are familiar, but it's a big game. It's actually one of the biggest games out there. There's a humongous population of people who play it. It's like it's the console equivalent of like almost a World of Warcraft. I don't want to insult the gamers who would say.
But it was pretty polarizing.
It's a polarizing concept. You either love the game or you hate the game.
Well, people love the idea. They love the concept, but the early execution of it, people didn't like, and a lot of people jumped ship off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
They swore it off within the first week, and they did themselves a disservice because it was.
It's a solid game.
Yeah, they were building something early, and now that you're starting to see what they were trying to get to, it's really good.
It's a good game, but the caveat I would always tell people about this game, like when I was working at the GameStop or when people just ask me about Destiny, it's not a game you can really enjoy by yourself. You have to have a good group of assholes with you. That is literally the key to playing Destiny. You have to have a good group of 3 to 6 assholes. And you're gonna have a great time playing the game, just griefing each other, and then when you actually conquer something like they have these crazy things called raids and these giant bosses with crazy raid mechanics. When you conquer that with your buddies, like after you've been fighting and yelling at each other, and you're like, "Oh, you're not doing your job, fuck you!" and then when you finally overcome a boss, it's just like the wave of accomplishment and relief you feel. It's like it's amazing. That's one of the reasons I've been playing it nonstop for 2.5 years. I mean, I haven't played the last couple days because my PS4 has been like disc spitting, like it's a baby.
To me.
Every day.
I had to put in the service request.
Oh, really? I'm close to putting in a service request myself.
$107 for that shit.
$107?
Yeah.
I might as well just buy a new PS4. Jesus Christ. But here's the cool thing. One of the main reasons I wanted to mention this is they put out some cool trailers.
Yeah.
Even you, Mr. Pete Molini, who's not much of a gaming guy.
No, but those are some cool trailers.
They put out some cool trailers because one of the voice actors that they use for this game is nerd icon Nathan Fillion, a.k.a. Captain of Firefly, a.k.a. Castle. He's hilarious. In the game he plays this hunter character, and he's sarcastic as fuck. There's a trailer where it's just him sitting at a bar talking about taking out stuff, and in the middle, at the end of the bar, all of a sudden, boom, the bar blows up. Like, well, guess I better get back to work. And then another character's yelling out, "You stopped for a drink? It was just one drink." And I've always felt that this character was like the real MVP of the game. Because anytime you interact with his character, it's just pure comedy. And then they had another trailer, which I actually posted on the Dre's Geek Philosophy Facebook page if you want to check it out. There's a great trailer. It's like he's like dueling, they're trying to rile the troops, and like there's the super serious character, and then there's Nathan Fillion's character, and it is priceless. It's so great. I don't even want to do it justice. I mean, you have to watch it. It's just.
It's like when he's all like, They took our stuff.
They blew up your stuff. They blew up my stuff. Most importantly, they blew up my stuff. And it's comedy. It's a really enjoyable. I recommend checking out the trailers. It's a crazy game. They're going to show more of the gameplay. That's something that I'm probably going to be streaming at some point when Destiny 2. It's going to come out in September. I'll probably be infrequently talking about it, and I may have a show. I don't know. We'll see down the line. But the last thing I want to talk about before we get to our main topic, because last week we murdered that Justice League trailer.
Yeah, we did pretty bad.
We stepped on the throat of that Justice League trailer, and literally the next day, that Spider-Man Homecoming trailer came out, and I believe my first comment was, it was a paraphrase of a line from Bad Boys. This is how you movie trailer! From now on, this is how you movie trailer! That was a fun movie trailer. Yeah. It kind of gave away a lot.
Yeah, that was...
It gave away a lot more plot than I was comfortable with. But good God, that was a great movie trailer. Holy shit. That was the opposite. What were your thoughts and feelings of the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer?
Yeah, man. Even... that first little teaser when we see the little drone on his chest.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I mean, I read a lot of people complaining that spiders don't fly. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's cool.
Doesn't matter. We're watching a movie where there's a guy in a metal suit flying around. There's a green giant monster, and you're gonna quibble about a fucking flying spider.
Yeah.
God, get over yourself.
But I think this is. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like, in the last 17 years, 15 years or so, we've had 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah, 3 different Spider-Man.
Right.
This is the 6th Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
In 17 years, yeah.
And it's just I don't know. I think it feels like this is Spider-Man.
This is the actual they finally have gotten to the point where they've created a Spider-Man which is exactly like the one in the comic books, which is something I felt like they've kind of struggled with.
Because the whole thing with Spider-Man, he was always the character. He was always the hero with problems.
Yeah.
He was always the hero who, his powers could not solve all his problems.
Yeah, he was broke.
Yeah, he was broke all the time, and his aunt was sick, or and he was riddled with guilt, and it makes perfect sense that he's in high school, because that's how high school kids are.
Yeah, he was. Spider-Man has always been that relatable character, like that kind of the everyman. It's like your average person gets superpowers, you still have super problems.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's because. The other movies, they never did that. He was always in high school for,
the first 15 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
20 minutes of the movie? And then, hey, look, I'm working at the Daily Bugle. Yeah. and don't get me wrong, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be the best J. Jonah Jameson ever.
Yeah, I don't know who they could do.
No, oh, my God. I feel bad for whomever plays J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. I feel bad for him. That's just no, you have to follow that.
Yeah.
There wasn't a J. Jonah Jameson in the Andrew Garfield ones, huh? Because he never worked for the Bugle. I think he was just going to college.
I think in the second one there was a little reference to it, but they never showed him. They never
because Sony they were not successful enough with that franchise to get to the point where they needed a Jonah.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I kind of feel too that you could see in this one too. So in the Andrew Garfield ones, they tried to distance themselves from the Sam Raimi ones.
Yeah. So
that's why we had Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane. And so I think maybe that...
And then we had the physical web shooters as opposed to organic web shooters.
And then they waited till the end to do Green Goblin, and they did all that, But I kind of feel like maybe that's why we didn't get J. Jonah Jameson in those movies, because they were just he was a big part of those.
Yeah, it was an iconic role.
Yeah.
He was hilarious.
Now he's Commissioner Gordon. Or...
Yeah, he's going to be Commissioner Gordon. I'm slightly thrown off by that. Yeah. He's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. Friggin' J.K. Simmons is awesome, but that trailer overall, if you haven't seen the trailer, I recommend after you finish watching the show, go to YouTube.com and watch that Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of little.
Unless you don't want stuff spoiled for you, then I would hold off. Then.
I mean, you know what?
There wasn't huge spoilers, but it's just a lot of things happen.
Yeah, but I think it's it's really cool because you get to see that emotion between him and Iron Man.
Yes,
and how he it's really cool because he's the next generation, and he tells them you have to be better than me.
You have to be better. That line right there.
Holy crap!
It's just I guess that's all the power and responsibility Uncle Ben wanted to put on his, and then just laid more upon his poor narrow little teenage shoulders.
Because you have to imagine this is a young guy, and so you gotta imagine he probably saw Iron Man. As a kid, he probably watched Iron Man Save New York because he lives in Brooklyn. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he probably...
Oh, Queens. I'm sorry. He lives in Queens.
Yeah.
Cap is from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
My mistake, nerd. Sorry.
But I mean, he probably saw like all these things the Iron Man did, and he like looked up to him. Obviously,
I feel like that's going to be a plot point. See, you're a natural you're a writer, my friend. You probably you're already like piecing this together logically. This is how it makes sense. He idolizes. I'm sure he idolizes the Avengers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
they showed him like geeking out during the Civil War. He was just nerding out. Whoa, Cap shield. Oh my God, you have metal wings.
Yeah.
You have no. You have a metal arm?
Yeah.
That was like my favorite line. Like he's losing his shit over Winter Soldier's arm. I'm like that's why I know. Like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is the Spider-Man that I have wanted personally.
And I actually really like that like DIY costume he puts together. Like,
Yeah,
that looks really cool. It looks cooler than I thought it was gonna look. Like it looks like something you can build.
Yeah, it's something that your typical if a teenager became Spider-Man, that's what he'd put together.
Yeah.
You can go to Walmart or Target, slap all that together.
Pretty much.
Head on over to Home Depot, get a whole lot of duct tape or whatever, and slap that together. So yeah, it looked really good. It made me pretty happy.
And, it's one little thing that really I took away from it that I really liked a lot was this is one shot of Michael Keaton, and he's wearing this flight jacket. And it's got the fur, and it looks like the vulture.
It looks like it looks like the comic book vulture.
Yeah.
So and then that's it's the little things.
Oh yeah.
It's always the little things.
I always tell people that my favorite part of the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie is I think towards the end, Doc Connors transforms, and for a second you have the Lizard with the lab coat on, and like that, like I was like, that's awesome.
That's straight up from the comic book.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but. So, enough of me waxing poetically about Spider-Man. I recommend watching this. Obviously, highest possible recommendation from the staff here at Dre's Geek Philosophy for our Spider-Man Homecoming when that comes out in July.
Yeah, I mean, I think other than Guardians, that's the biggest movie I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I keep mentioning it every week, man. Low key, man. I think Thor Ragnarok is going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that too.
Hopefully we get a Thor trailer with Guardians.
Did you see the thing? James Gunn, I think on Twitter, he said that he saw the Thor trailer already, and he said it's the best trailer Marvel's ever put out. So I mean,
I guess it won't be low key.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the low key sleeper hit of the year. At least after what May 5th or May 7th. Well, whatever.
Right?
They gotta slap that trailer in front of fucking Guardians. If they don't, then I don't know what's happening over there, Marvel. But all right, let's get to the main topic. Unfortunately, there is no This Week in Uber. I did not drive for Uber last week. My other side gigs have kept me so busy and able to pay my bless it. We are blessing the excessively long executive producer who had some excessively short sneezes right now.
Thank you. I appreciate your blessings.
Oh, I will bless it. Bless it. Using the cough button. Well played.
It's there. It's
there. We got a cough button. I'm listening to the cannons. I'd always hear about the mystical cough button, and now I'm like, hey, look, there's a cough button.
On this side, I have a Euro button.
Euro. I need a Euro. But so there is no This Week in Uber, but something that I'm gonna be doing infrequently. I don't know if you guys noticed this on the format that I sent you, but I didn't really elaborate on it. I've gotten fat. I mean, I'm overweight for me. Like I stepped on the scale this morning, and I am 260 pounds. That is 30 pounds more than I. This is the biggest I've ever been. I'm sure there's other people going, yeah, you're really overweight. But no, for me, like for my own health, I'm pretty certain if I continue down this road, I'll get bigger if I don't stop myself.
I feel your pain on this because I stepped on the scale a couple days ago, and I am the heaviest I've ever been. I'm at I'm pushing 190 right now. I'm like my gut, like this shirt right now that I'm wearing is barely holding together. I'm sucking in so hard, like the Simpsons episode where they went to the Super Bowl. They're all sucked in for the whole bus ride. That's me right now. And I'm sure you're wondering, Dre, why the hell are you mentioning this? And I figure I have this platform. I'm going to use this platform to hold myself accountable.
Oh, there you go.
So periodically, every couple weeks, I will give us an update on Dre trying to get back down to 230. And ideally, I should be lighter than that, but 230, I'm nice and comfortable there.
That's comfortable.
But I was 230 like when I was fired from GameStop in November. I was 230. Wow, so in the last 4 months, I have put on 30 pounds by being a pig, honestly. I've been doubling up pretty hard.
Me too, and it doesn't help that Chronic Taco just opened downstairs.
Oh, Chronic Taco is just open by your house.
Yeah.
Oh, downstairs by your house.
Yeah.
I want the Chronic Taco. I see that's the thing. I've been giving in, and I've been like weird. Like last week, I've been kind of accepting. Okay, I'm just gonna be fat. No, I'm not. But I'm like, all right, I'm 260. Pretty soon, my knees are gonna start hurting even more than they normally do. I got big man problems, bad ankles, bad knees. So I'll be using this platform. To see the audience, I will be holding myself accountable. That hopefully in a couple weeks, I will hopefully be a couple pounds lighter. I'll be closer to 250 than closer to 270. So it'll be Dre's weight of the week. So we're just making new segments every week. I mean, like,
sorry, I'm flicking the little robots on the screen.
Excessively long executive producer Sam Zia is flicking some robots. So now onto the main topic. I want to talk. I went to WonderCon this past weekend.
Yeah.
I performed at the Street Pass OC's panel, but I had the fortune to be able to walk around the show floor for a little bit, and I was reminded why I don't like going to conventions anymore.
Did you go on a Friday? Like, was it crowded?
No, it's not even the crowds.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, the parking was a pain in the ass. I had to park over at freaking Honda Center and thankfully the parking there was free. At least they were kind enough, instead of charging me $15, it was free parking at Honda Center. I had to take a bus all the way over from Honda Center to the Anaheim Convention Center. But that's not even the biggest problem I had. No, I honestly didn't even have a problem with that. Like, logically, they were out of parking. I mean, I can't really complain about that. I gave up my Disneyland annual pass, so I couldn't park at Disneyland. That's what I did for the last few years for WonderCon. Like, the parking was never a problem for me at WonderCon. I would just park at Disneyland. I just walk over to the convention center. But the problem I had, thank you. The problem I remember, because I forgot. I don't know if I did this on the show live or if I did this on the practice. Like, I broke up with conventions. Yeah. I broke up in 2012. I broke up with San Diego Comic-Con. I was done because financially it just doesn't, like, at this point in my life, it just doesn't make sense. And then on Friday, as I was running around, I was trying to track down that artist for you, like as you asked. I was looking at all the booths. And I'm like, man, look at all this shit I don't need. I mean, there are a few things that I thought were cool. Because you see some of the booths. I mean, the area I do like is Artist Alley and looking at all the art that people have. But, yeah, like walking the other sections, like where you had your loot crates. There's so many crates now. Oh, my God. That's the new MacGuffin.
Oh, yeah.
There's a crate for everything. Like, if you're enthusiastic about something, they have a crate for you. You give us $20 a month and we'll send you 10 cents worth of things.
I saw a thing where, I forget what it's called, but they send you socks. Like,
Just socks.
Just socks. But they're like designer socks or something. I don't know.
Oh, there's not nerdy, are they?
Yeah, I mean,
are they nerd socks?
Kind of. I mean, like, it gives you, like, you have to fill this, like, questionnaire.
Okay.
And they'll ask you, like, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like it? But it's all just, like, basic genres. And then, you get, like, socks.
Because on other podcasts I listen to, I hear about, these, 5-4 Club, where, like, you give them your design, you give them your measurements, and they send you nice clothing. And actually, I think those are pretty good, because you're paying them, like, $60-$80, and they'll send you, like, $100 worth of clothing. And, like, and it's sensible stuff. And, like, let's say you have no fashion sense. For those of you who can't hear this, or who are not watching, I raise my hand. I really don't have much fashion sense. I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy, or a knit shirt and jeans kind of guy. I have no fashion, even though I come from a family that works in the fashion industry. Who'd thunk it? I'm glad my parents didn't come from the video game industry, or I'd hate them.
Oh.
Well, the games, and not my parents.
Oh.
I like my mom. My mom's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're taking advantage of nerds, because there's a Marvel's Collectors Club, DC Collectors Club. Loot Crate was like the first one of all of them, but now there's like so many. Like, there are so many booths for just that. Yeah. And then I saw another booth. It's a game I've been meaning for us to play on the show here. It's called Super Fight. They have a monthly subscription service where you can get new cards for their game every month for $15 a month. And I was just like, this is insane.
Well, it's the new thing, man.
It's the new thing, and I just, because I live on such a limited budget now, it drives me nuts to, like, walk around and see this stuff. And then I walked the further end of because that was the middle of the show floor. All this, sign up, pay us monthly, we'll send you things. That was the middle of the show floor. And then on the far, I guess that would be the north side of the convention center. It was all your typical vendors, people that you are familiar with, people selling you shit, people selling you the thing that you couldn't get at another convention, or the rare toy that they paid off someone at Toys R Us or a Walmart to get, and asking you for like $80 for a Soundwave toy. Fuck you. And that's where like my con soreness really comes out. That's like my con bitterness really comes out when I see all this stuff. And like, there's stuff that I think is cool, but it's just like it's either marked up or like there's other stuff that I see. I'm like, who needs all these swords?
Yeah,
there's always that sword booth.
But you've never a moment in your life thought like, I want a sword.
No, when I was with my gaming girlfriend. We were totally going to buy Keyblades from. Well, we were going to name our first daughter after a character from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, real talk. My first daughter's name was going to be Kairi after the character from Kingdom Hearts. So of course, hell yeah, we were going to buy a Keyblade. We're going to put that above her crib. Like but I was in my 20s. I threw money away like there was no tomorrow.
That's who they're marketing.
That's
towards.
who they're marketing towards.
Oh,
But it drives
Collectors.
me. Yeah. It's insane to me, and that's the thing where like I feel like I'm in a different place. Like I'm not begrudging people who throw their money or lives away on this stuff. I don't begrudge. Hey, you do you. My mom has weirdly accepted the fact that I have 10,000 comic books. She I visited her a few months ago, and she's like, I'm never gonna throw them away. I was like, you were planning on throwing them away.
Wow.
And then she goes, I understand. She's like, what do you mean? I understand that they're not just books to you, they're memories. I was like, who are you and what have you done with my mom?
Seriously, like Attack of the Body Snatchers.
Right? Like this woman who like for years, like the first 7 years I worked at the comic shop, I was not allowed to come home with comics. Yeah. If I even tried to smuggle one in, it was like, what are you doing? You can't bring those here.
How dare you?
How dare you? I smuggled in all the basketball cards, though, because those were easy to hide in the backpack. Or in my pockets. I can just put them all in my pockets. Speaking of basketball. Oh, Samsy has to go take care of something important.
But yeah, I mean, there's stuff at cons that you would only buy at a con.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But there's also stuff that like you see is cool. Like I remember every year I always see this guy and he has those Wolverine claws that you just like you have that like a brass knuckle, and I always play with them and I'm always like I'm never gonna buy it.
Yeah, no, there's so little. That's like the practicality because I'm becoming an old nerd. I'm valuing function over form now. Like honestly, I was walking around looking for a new nerd messenger bag. Because my current bag, for those of you watching, I have it next to me right here. I have this I got this with the Infamous 2 Collector's Edition, which a friend of mine who worked at Sony hooked me up with.
Nice.
He got me this bag, and it's amazing. It's awesome. But the poor thing is falling apart because I've been carrying all kinds of stuff in here. This thing has been blessed because it is now holy.
Okay.
And it's this poor thing. I've had it for a long time, and so I was like, all right. I had bought a different Nerd Messenger bag at D23, the Disney Expo, a few years back, but I don't know what I did with it. I think it's full of art supplies somewhere in my garage. I should go dig that thing up. But I was looking for something more sensible, and here I am walking around a convention floor, trying to find something practical at the most impractical place on earth at that point in time. I don't know what possessed me. I went to that We Love Fine booth because that's where I had bought the messenger bag. I'm like, okay, they should have bags. They have bags for ladies, but all they had were purses.
Oh.
And I was like, damn it. And I was a weirdo. I'm like, hey, why don't you have anything for guys here? I thought it in my head. I'm like, wow, that was really I'm like, this is a weird twist of fate. Where like, normally it's like there isn't enough stuff for women at cons. Or I'm like, hey, what's up with the messenger bag for dudes? I need some like X-Men bag or something. What the hell?
And that's when you get decked by a Captain Marvel.
Well, yeah, if I had said that out loud, I would have gotten my ass whipped. Like, justifiably so. I would have gotten beat down by a lot of female nerds. I would have earned that. It would have been just a justifiable homicide.
Oh, so they would have killed you.
They would have killed me. No court in this country would have convicted them. It would be just basic manslaughter.
He said what?
He said what? He went to the booth full of women's stuff and asked where the dude stuff was? What an asshole.
So it sounds like you become pretty jaded to the whole con.
To the con atmosphere, well, because the lines and the insanity, and I'm sure you can speak to this a little bit. I feel like it's been taken over by cosplayers.
I mean, too. See, I think so.
But every con, just about every
No,
con.
but it used to just only be Anime Expo, and then you'd have you'd have a few enthusiastic people showing up dressed up as their favorite characters.
Yeah,
but
over
now
the years it's gotten more.
it's like where they're asking to be paid to go there.
Well, I mean, that's what happens. Is like I think it's a thing where they became famous.
Yeah,
And
it is insane to me how this has become like.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I could appreciate the enthusiasm of like
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I love people's enthusiasm, but they're trying to. I mean, they're turning this into a job, and they're asking for. And I get it. Good cosplaying is expensive. I mean, I've seen some cool shit. I mean, like at BlizzCon, they showed like all the Overwatch characters. Like there was a dude dressed up as that giant Reinhardt. That dude looks like a giant tank. Yeah. Holy shit, that was cool. But I mean, right now, full disclosure, Mr. Peter Molini here is running. He's starting his own comic book expo, a Comic Con for East Los Angeles, and some of the stories that you've told me in pre-show meetings or when we're just hanging out, it's like it's insane. Like these people like want you to like. There's a cosplayer like on the East Coast, like, oh, how much will you pay me to fly out to you to be at your convention? And like, what? No, I am not flying you out.
Yeah, it's become a thing where like a lot of these. I don't know what you call them.
They're famous cosplayers, I guess. They have a following.
I mean,
there's a lot of like hot women that really are nerded out too, that are incredible cosplayers. I can see them showing up, having a booth, and doing signings and stuff like that. But just to show up and walk around the floor, come on.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, I am amazed by this. It's not something that I am not abhorrent to it, but I'm just like, I have to raise an eyebrow and go like, when did this become a thing?
I feel like it was kind of recent, right? Like in the last.
It's within a lot, because I remember like if I wanted to see awesome cosplay, I'd go to Anime Expo because that was where you would see a lot of cosplay. But now every convention is like this parade of people dressed up as anything and everything, and nothing against them. I'm just kind of like. You're a part of the show, but you're not more important than the show.
Yeah.
Like some of them feel like they're more important than the show, or they're vital to the show.
They are the show.
They think they're the show.
Yeah. Now,
at Anime Expo, I would argue that they are like a big part of the show.
They are the hype.
They are the hype.
Did you hear about? Oh man, where was it? I think it's like Chicago or maybe even Northern California. There's a show right now. It's getting a lot of bad press because they made official saying that they weren't going to allow cosplay.
Really?
And but here's the thing that they kind of bit them in the ass. The show, it's called Superior Con. All right.
Wait, what?
For fuck's sake.
So we're better than you.
Yeah.
Superior Con. Why didn't they just? Oh, you know what? I'm going to stop myself before I go to a dark direction. Please continue.
And then on top of that, they got a lot of shit because when they made this announcement, they posted a picture of a dude dressed like the Riddler, and it was like a circle and a line.
They went full Ghostbusters on that shit. Oh, no cosplayers.
And I guess they just like picked the picture at random because the guy was like, "You're using my picture to like and it was crazy. But then you had the reaction that you said was that you had all these cosplayers like, well, a con without cosplay isn't a Comic Con, and I'm like,
it existed. The Comic Con existed before the cosplayer. And I have to react to this question on Facebook Live. Angel Garcia asked, but did you get the Destiny Collector's Edition, though? No, I missed out on it. I was checking Best Buy because I get 20% off at Best Buy. Because, again, it comes with a really cool messenger bag. I can get that Destiny messenger bag. It cost me $200, but hey, I have a Best Buy credit card. But I missed out on it. It sold out, so I may just have to settle for saving my money and just buying the regular-ass Destiny edition, whatever. That is a bridge I will cross in September at this point. I missed out on the Destiny Collector's Edition. But, come on, guys. I threw it out there. But I'm bummed.
Sorry.
Coordination, gentlemen. But that is crazy that, like, this whole...
I don't know, like...
Before... I don't know.
You know what? I have a question here.
You have a question. Sam.
Because I've attended many a con.
Yes, you have,
and
sir.
Of many varieties, not just Comic Cons. I mean, I've been to various like sex therapy conventions and various AVNs. And
AVN.
I've been to I think 10 now.
E3 is that's a big
E3
convention
is
too.
all of them have nerdiness incorporated with each other.
This is true.
All the different conventions, the ones that I've been to at least, including the sex therapist and the sex conventions and all of that stuff.
I believe the term, some of those people are
all-
hobbyists, I believe is the term I've learned on the internet.
The collectors are the ones that are in common. But the one thing, the nerdy one, E3, that I really like going to, is one that does not have cosplayers. They have professionals there that are brought on by...
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. This year, they're selling tickets to the public. Do you think that we're going to have an inundation of cosplayers?
Yep.
And do you think that's going to change the atmosphere of it all?
Yes. Well, because, I mean, the E3, we've discussed E3 here before on the show. It is meant to be an industry event. It's supposed to be for people in the industry to get their hands on games so they can understand what they should order, what's going to be popular,
what they should write about for the next
what the media what the media is going to write, but the industry, what I mean by industry, it's usually
the makers, the producers.
No, not just the makers, the buyers. People from Target and Walmart and Best Buy. They're there to see. They are there to make educated buying decisions. That's usually the big thing. That's why I'm sure you've noticed the last few times we've gone. There's lots of closed off areas now, all restricted, because that's where they put in. That's where those people who are influences. It's the media. But remember, we also have the meeting areas. Yes, but the influencers, people who are influencers. That's who is like when E3 was spawned as an idea, however many years ago in the mid '90s. That was the concept of this show. Much like the CES. That is primarily for people who are influenced at companies to make purchasing decisions. That's the main reason. Whenever I used to fib on my E3 application, I would always say I was some measure of an influencer when I was doing marketing for whatever company I was at. Oh, I do marketing for such and such company. Why, yes, I am an influencer. Even before I was at Nintendo, I was like, I put in my stepdad's company. I'm like, yes, we do lots of audio video. I have purchasing power. That was the thing. Do you have purchasing power? That was one of the big questions back in the old days. Do you have purchasing power? Those are the people who are supposed to be going to E3.
Yeah.
So you could see the products ahead of time and know, okay, this is an exciting product. We're going to order more of this. Or, you know what? I was underwhelmed by this product. We're not going to order that.
Well, and that's why I love my media pass, because I could just get in and get more access than most.
Yes, because it's supposed to be for the media, and it's supposed to be for the media to help promote stuff. But now in this age of the internet, everything travels like a million times an hour faster. So all this stuff gets out faster. So now, like you're saying, we're going to have a lot of people who have nothing to do with the industry at the show, and because it's public, there's going to be a bunch of crazy cosplayers.
I was already underwhelmed by E3 over the last couple of years. Now I am even less whelmed.
Yeah, the whelm.
My whelm factor is starting
This
to
totally
fall
reminds me of like a joke that Robin would say on Young Justice.
Yeah, whelmed.
Whelmed. Am I whelmed?
But like we talked about, I think the shows go in stages.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. When was the first Comic-Con or first comic show you went to?
Like an actual convention?
Or
sadly, the one that you got me in
really?
08.
You ever went to like a local one?
I don't count the Shrine.
Yeah,
because the Shrine Auditorium, like for those who don't know, like there was always a comic, like an LA sci-fi, like back in the '90s. This was like it was popping off. Yeah. Like, I remember Schwarzenegger showed up promoting Terminator, or they'd get like big gets.
They still kind of do, but it's
not as big. Yeah. I mean, like now that the stink of nerd is not on convention, like you have big stars going to all these different conventions, and there's conventions everywhere and all the time now.
Yeah.
It used to. It used to not be a big thing. I remember that one time we were at your comic shop, and I was flipping through comic books and trying to find all the old conventions. We were flipping through 80s comic books, and there was like 12 conventions the whole year. Like, there was one a month, but they were spread out around the country. Like you had your Baltimore Con, you had your New York Comic Con, then you had your traditional San Diego, which was always the biggest show.
Yeah, like random one, Denver.
Yeah, Denver. Yeah, maybe because Mile High Comic. And they were fewer and far between, and like there was just it wasn't as crazy as it is now. There's a con, like right when con season starts. I mean, like I feel like Emerald City Comic Con is kind of like the kickoff of the con season. Now, like one after another.
It's ridiculous. Like when we were picking the date for the show,
for East LA Comic Con,
I downloaded like 4 or 5 apps that gave you like every show, and it was just like, and it's just kind of cross-referencing, trying to find that one date.
Trying to find a date where you're not there's no conflict, and even then you end up conflicting against some small show, right?
Yeah, at the end, in like I forgot, what was it?
Somewhere on the East Coast,
yeah,
was it?
Somewhere.
Some like Whedon based.
Oh no, yeah, that one.
The Whedon Con.
And they got pissed. Like.
So a small East Coast show that is not going to be affected at all by this East LA Comic Con. I mean,
no, they're out here.
They're out here.
Yeah, I think in Santa Monica or something like that.
Oh, okay. But still, Santa Monica's going to be affected by this East LA Comic Con.
They got pissed, and I was like,
just overreaction by people who do not do research.
It's ridiculous, man. It's just like, but yeah, like, there's so many cons. But like, I remember one of the goals I wanted to do with this show was, I remember as a kid going to shows that were in the banquet halls of hotels.
Yes.
And those were so cool because it was just like, it wasn't huge, but you like walk around. You could, like, this is how crazy it is compared to now. I have a short box at my house full of books signed by Stan Lee. Because back then, you just walk right up to him. He was just sitting at a table. And
just by himself. Excelsior!
Yeah. Like, I knew who he was because I love those cartoons, and he would always come out in the beginning, and he would introduce.
Hello, true believer.
Yeah. So I knew who he was.
But your average person had no clue Stan Lee was.
It was like, if you saw the cartoons, or you were like an older guy, you know, an older collector, like you, that's the only. Everyone in between didn't know who Stan Lee.
No one else knew who Stan Lee was. He was just like an anonymous figure. But now, thanks to the Marvel movies, everybody knows who Stan Lee is.
Everybody knows who he is now.
He has his own Comic Con now.
And so, like, those were like the type of shows I always loved. And I think it was cool because it was a niche. It was like, you know, you were able to get into it easily.
You know, honestly, the first show I ever... there was one time where my old boss, the original owner of Comic Galaxy, Barry, he took me to it was a trading card show. But it was more trading cards, but there were comic books there. Mm-hmm. Like, there was one day where he took me to a show. That was the first time I'd ever been to a show proper, or like, not Frank and Sons, not freaking, you know, not Shrine. That was the first time, like... And like you were saying,
it blew up.
God, I lost my train of thought because I got a message across the thing. That was the first time where I got to witness, like, oh my God, there's all this shit. I'm like, holy crap! Yeah, there was there was cards everywhere. There was comics everywhere. It was insane. It was in a hotel lobby. That's what I was. That's the point I was trying to make before I got distracted by the message I got right now. It was in a hotel lobby in LA. They're like, holy shit, all this stuff is happening. And then there was a show at the Montebello Town Center. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they brought out some Raiders. So those were the first time I had those tastes of actual, like, they weren't like real shows, but it was like you were saying, like, there were probably people who would be famous comic book creators now. Like, I bet a Jim Lee could be sitting there, and no one would know it was him. Yeah. He would just be sitting there chilling. People would walk up. The people who knew brought him Uncanny X-Men, and he'd be signing it. Yeah. But beyond that, no one else knew. Like, oh, who's this Korean dude here?
There's it's random off topic, but it ties into it. Where I think on Instagram, Jim Lee posted a bunch of pictures of drawings he did. He was selling at his first Comic Con, and I think there was like a Wolverine, and it was like $30. And he was saying he couldn't sell it, like no one was buying it. Like,
but men would kill each other to pay $30 for an original Wolverine sketch. Like there'd be dead men in front of that table. It'd be kumite. Yeah, exactly. There would be kumite for a Jim Lee drawn Wolverine original sketch from 1992. I bet.
But
yeah, they're saying that the con culture has changed so much. Where like everyone has giant lines.
Yeah, and I remember the last.
Or the invasion of TV shows. Yeah. That's I always say that was the death knell for Comic Cons for me. Like, because that first con that I finally got to go to, I wasn't like, for the longest time I could not go to San Diego Comic Con because my mom would not allow it. Yeah, she did not trust my boss. Yeah, and so I'd always have to. I was the one stuck at the comic shop while everyone else, like my coworkers, their parents, like, oh yeah, you can go to San Diego. Yeah. Sure, why not? They got to experience Comic Con, and I'd just be sitting here at the comic shop, you know. Sad panda. I didn't get to go until 2008. Yeah. Was when you had that extra pass and you told me drive down, bring a sleeping bag, crash on the floor of the hotel room that we have, and that's why I drove down there, crashed in the hotel room. Next morning, you got me the pass back when you could still transfer passes. Yeah. in 2008 was the last time you could transfer a pass because you had an extra one.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I have an extra Saturday pass. Oh, and that was the first time I got to experience Comic-Con, and that was literally one of the greatest experiences of my life because that was still like the whole Twilight movies hadn't taken over. I mean, I think Twilight was there, but it hadn't become a thing where people camped out for 3 days to watch their panel.
You know what's funny? I don't remember if it was that Comic-Con or the one after, but I remember standing in line to get in, and these two girls in homemade Twilight shirts were walking around with a camcorder, and they were just coming, and they're like, "Are you excited about Twilight?" And I'm like, "I don't know what that is."
No, that was 08.
Okay.
That was 08
Yeah.
because I think Twilight was there because I remember seeing the posters. I'm like, what the hell is Twilight?
Yeah.
Like not knowing. I was like, what the hell is this and why is it here?
Yeah.
And then the following year, it being like the gigantic thing, and I hit see that was like that and got the rest of the movie industry. Oh look, this movie got huge by being at Comic-Con.
Well, and the other thing too is that's when it started selling out because people didn't understand that they just wanted to go to the Twilight thing, and they would buy 4-day passes.
Yeah, where they only would need 1 day,
Yeah.
but they bought 4-day passes just because that's what you would buy.
That's what you do, right?
Or maybe there's gonna be another panel. Maybe there's gonna be a signing or
Yeah.
something. You don't know. You have all your options open.
Yeah.
Either all 4 days.
I had one really awesome Comic-Con experience.
That's right. Because excessively long executive producer Sam Zia, you lived in San Diego. You lived deep inside the whale's vagina for a good while.
I lived on the corner of Front and Market.
Oh,
Front and Market.
Wow.
So, there was a little...
You got to watch Comic-Con happen.
On the left
literally.
side, there's now like a high-rise.
Yeah.
On the right, there's this little tiny apartment complex. I lived in that apartment complex.
I think there's like a Ralph's there now or something.
Yeah. No, on the other side.
On the other side.
On
Okay.
the other side of it. On Market in front.
Okay.
And... yeah, I used to go to that Ralph's all the time before the high-rise got there. The day the PS2 came out, I ran across an empty lot. A month later, there was a high-rise.
Oh.
So, I went over to the Comic-Con. Actually, it was after I moved out of San Diego. I saw all the crazy shit, people coming in and out when I lived there. I had my fill. And then I ended up going down there, and I walk in, and someone just, I just walk in for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just grabs me and says, "Hey, you want to get in this line?" I was like, "Sure." They were just starting a line right then and there.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." I'm like the second person in line, and I look, and it's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh.
That's right. That's the photo on your Facebook I've seen several times.
He was
With Cosmos.
promoting Cosmos.
Nice.
So I was blown away. I was like, "Oh my god, I just met Neil deGrasse Tyson." And then I made a beeline for for Timac, because he was upstairs, the guy from The Last Dragon. So I went up there, and he has no line in front of him.
There's no line.
I just sat there and talked to him for a little bit. It was great.
See, I feel like everyone's first Comic-Con experience
Yeah.
is amazing, and then it's like the
Downhill after that, because all the same people come back. It's not like you're getting walk back up to the guy and say, "Hey, what's up? You remember me?" From
it's
last
kind of the law of diminishing returns. I mean,
Boy.
my last Comic-Con was probably one of the worst experiences of my life.
I think that's the thing about Comic-Con. You have those moments where that stuff could happen, but then there's also the bad stuff.
The bad stuff,
Well, there's no. Every year it gets bigger and bigger and less room to move.
it's insane.
It's really you have to. I remember going through when I used to live down there, just walking around the neighborhood as it was happening, and it was already crowded, but it was manageable.
It was still manageable. Then all of a sudden, now it's so hard to walk around the Gaslamp district
It's
during
insane.
Comic-Con now.
Yeah, and I lived down there from 2001 until 2004.
Oh, those were good years then. Those
Yeah.
were amazing
Yeah,
Comic-Con
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
It was still crowds, but it was
It was a crowd, but it wasn't. You could still find parking. People were not
Yeah.
fighting for hotel rooms,
Yeah.
like where you have to stay in Mission Valley,
Yeah.
and even then Mission Valley sells out. But we're probably gonna hit this Comic-Con topic again at some other future point because I feel like
We got a lot of cons. This is the opening of the con season. Right?
We'll probably talk about more conventions. I mean, I feel like E3. I mean, when E3 rears its head around here, I'm not sure.
It's less attractive head. Let's just call it that.
It's less attractive. It's not ugly, but it's not as attractive as it used to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was it 1,200 or 12,000 people? Or they opened it up to?
Oh boy.
Wow.
And granted, they now have the space considering what EA and Activision aren't showing up.
No, well, they might be coming back. That's
But
the
they might
thing.
go outside again.
I don't know. We'll see when that freaking can of worms opens up as we get closer to was it July or June?
June.
Because they moved around. Because it used to be a May
2
thing.
months.
2 months, June. Oh boy, and then yeah, 'cause it can't be July because July is freaking is Axe and
Yeah.
Expo.
Yeah.
Which I stopped going because I felt very creepy. The last time I went, I took my brother, and I felt like a creep. Like even then, I was still in my late 20s. I still felt like a creepy old man being there. I'm like, all right, I don't belong here.
You want to talk about creepy? Talk to me one day about AVNs.
Oh, yeah. I've never been, and I, as a younger man, I always wanted to go, and then we always hear stories from our friend D-Lo, because he always ends up working security there and having to
and
fight
he
off
has
all
awesome
the
stories.
fight off all the cretins and all the
I gotta
awful.
go and see what was going on, and I had such a
Right, a couple of years ago, I remember.
experience.
Yeah, there's a photo. You, him, our buddy Mike Elias. You
Yeah.
guys all met up.
With Coolio was there in one of those pictures.
That's right. The three of you took a photo with Coolio.
Yeah. So
And I have to say, it was because of AVN this last year, I got a personalized message from the creator of Rick and Morty, which, spoiler, it came back this past weekend. We're going to talk about that next week. I should have included that this week, but I felt I already stacked the deck enough. But, like, Rick and Morty is back! I don't know if anyone likes Rick and Morty. I like Rick and Morty. I believe you like Rick and Morty. Are you a Rick and Morty fan?
I need to get into it.
You need to get. Oh, it's amazing. When I eventually buy the Blu-rays when they go on sale, I will lend them to you. Or I'm just gonna come over and we're gonna watch them, and you're gonna like be amazed.
That was crazy that they started streaming it.
They started streaming it on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
That's like the best. I hate April Fool's Day, but that was the best reverse April Fool's of all time. But yeah, Rick and Morty came back. It is freaking great. But yeah, no, actually, because of AVN, I got a personalized message from the creator as Rick, like, "Hey Andre, hey don't kill yourself. Just don't. Hey, why don't you go adopt a puppy or something?" Yeah, and then he was really drunk.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. He tried to do the Morty voice, and he couldn't do it, and he was so drunk.
That's awesome.
Like, I have it saved in my phone. I was showing people last night at WrestleMania. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys like Rick and Morty? Check this out.
Yeah.
Hey Andre, don't die.
We gotta get Dre on the show one of these days. Not Dre. We gotta get D on the show one of these days.
He was on the show. He didn't want to get on the mic.
Yeah, but we could if we give him something to talk about, like AVN.
All right. Well, I don't know if we're gonna do an AVN episode, but
No, just because it will make it part of convention season.
well, as we get closer to that, we'll see. We'll talk about that. So, we're gonna wrap this show up. We've reached the top of the hour. We've reached almost 9 p.m. So, as usual, if you want to follow the show, please go to facebook.com/Dre GP Podcast. If you want to watch all of us in our entirety and not just my face, you can go to twitch.tv/Dre GP Podcast. You can follow the show. I will randomly tweet. I need to get better at tweeting, but you can follow our Twitter at Dre GP Podcast as well. You can follow Pete Malini here on Twitter
At nostalgic_comics.
Nostalgic_comics. Sam Zia, who ran out to go take care of something in the next room. He's at SamZ570. At SamZ570. You can follow me on Instagram at SoCalClone. If I don't get hacked, apparently people are getting hacked like crazy right now. I've had a couple of friends lose their accounts. It's been pretty intense. It's like I was like, oh, shit. I had to I turned on two-step verification to make sure my account didn't get hacked. So, for excessively long producer. Executive producer Sam Zia. For Judgmental Nerd, Pete Malini. I am your host, Dre Cervantes. Thank you for watching. Please like, share. I can't use subscribe yet because we're not on YouTube yet. Like, share. Share this video. Even let's say you were watching this tomorrow morning and you thought it was great. Share it with your friends then. This is evergreen. This is the magic of the internet. If you don't watch it live, you can watch it later. I've had several of my friends tell me that they watch this show on their own time, and I tell them, thank you. I appreciate you take the time to watch it at some point. You don't have to be here live. It's more fun for you if you're live. You can send ridiculous messages to me on Facebook, and I will get thrown off, and you can help derail the show by messaging me live during the show. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking, and we'll see you next week. I love you.